What's going on, guys? Phantom Jigs here. This is day 2 of putting the head back together and timing for the first time. I'm not alone this time. I got my boy Cardi behind the camera.
Hello.
He's gonna basically just be here so like it's less awkward for me to talk to the camera and kind of like have conversation going. But
I'm really good
I
at.
got the head gasket on. I got the head on. I got the head bolts all bolted down and torqued. Same with the cradles, but the phone died right as I was doing the cradle, so you probably won't see that. But the rest of this is we're doing valve clearance checks, and if everything is in spec, I'm going to put new spark plugs in it. I'm going to check the coolant, and we're going to get everything put together. Well, I gotta put the radiator and everything on. But other than that, you know, some bits and pieces here and there, and that's going to basically put us to right where we can start it on its new fuel and new ECU.
What about what exactly is first though? What's first?
So first, I'm going to valve clearances. Okay. So I have my book right there, and
scooter guy.
Yeah, right. Scooter guy. But I have my book. It tells me if the timing on the crank. So there's a bolt on the side over here where you can. There's an arrow on the actual bolt, and then there's a divot in the crank cover that shows like when they're put together. That's outer dead center, I'm pretty sure. You put it there, it tells you which valves to check, and then it tells you to rotate it a certain amount of degrees, and then you check these valves. And so we're going to do that. If everything's in spec, fingers crossed, then we can put the yeah, right. We can put the cover on, some new spark plugs in, and then for the motor, everything that I took off, so throttle bodies, fuel, intake, all of that stuff, all the way down to the fuel tank, we'll have to put back on, and then, yeah, from there it's pretty easy. So
let's get into this right now.
All right. What I'm doing is valve clearances. So the clearance between, it says on here, in this condition, read the valve clearances between the cam face and the rocker arm at the valves. So your cam face is this little lobe right here. Mm-hmm. That's the cam face. When it rolls around and this lobe where it's extended pushes down on the rocker arm, which is this little arm that sits like top of your valves right here, the rocker arm pushes down on it every time the cam pushes down on it. Okay. So the cam pushes it down, opens the valve for intake, it lets air in, for exhaust it lets air out, or exhaust out. There's little shims, like I didn't even know the measurements, like tiny little metal pieces that I didn't know came out when I first took this apart. But those are how you change your valve clearance. So a bigger shim will provide less of a gap between the cam face and the rocker arm.
So less air. So
less clearance. So like if you have a valve that's like way too tight clearance, you get a smaller shim to allow for a bigger clearance. And then vice versa. If it's too big of a clearance, like say any bigger than 0.15 millimeters, if it's bigger than that, you go up in a size of shim and it makes the clearance smaller. So your feeler gauge can't go through. So right now I checked it with the 0.15. It was too small for the 0.15. Then I tried it with the 0.13 millimeter. It was too small for that. Tried the 0.1 and it was too big. So you want it to like have just a little bit of resistance when it goes through. Yeah. So now I'm going to try to go for like a 12. So I did the 0.08 and the 0.04 millimeter to equal 12 or 0.12. Yeah. If that's too big or too small, we'll adjust accordingly. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. But
that's cool.
We're going to do a little time lapse of me doing the rest of these because I don't want to take up a whole lot of time.
Yeah.
Let's see where we left off. So I made a mistake and didn't realize, and I hopefully it's not a permanent damage, but when I was rotating the engine, somehow the exhaust cam and the exhaust cam chain were not aligned. So my timing was off, and I don't know how that happened. So I went and took the cradles off. I took the cams out. I retimed everything. And then now everything should be in time. We will see. But now I'm going to torque all the cradle bolts down and check the timing again, and then check valve clearances, because that's what I was doing last time. So far, a couple of them are pretty tight. So they're smaller than intake is like 0.07 millimeters, and the exhaust is 0.16 millimeters. So, but I have some new shims coming. They're on the way. So, yeah. Until then, don't fuck up like I did. Now you can't fucking jump on me because the camera's rolling. Are you camera shy? Come here. Oh, good boy. Oh, good boy. Oh, I was going to be so mad at you for doing this. All right, off. Good boy. Look out. Move. All right. Today is like day 3 or day 4 of the junkyard build. Had a slight mishap, a little bit. I never bought, so I don't know what I'm doing, right? I'm kind of just winging it. And valve clearances. When you do valve clearances, you need to be able to adjust the valves if they're out of spec. So I bought this here, Hot Cams, not sponsored. Obviously, don't know why I said that. Hot Cams shims. So, and I'll show you an up close, but there's these little metal shims. I can actually show you these. And these little metal guys, little metal doodads, they're all varying sizes, ranging from 1.2 millimeters, I think is what the smallest is, to 3.5 millimeters. And depending on your cam profile, or not cam profile, but your spacing between the cam lobe and the rocker arm that sits on top of these above the valve and valve spring. Depending on your spacing, if you have too much clearance, you need to add a bigger shim. If there's not enough clearance, you need to add a smaller shim. And these are how you adjust your valve clearances. I didn't know that. Luckily, I have some people in my life that have also done valve clearances, and he explained it to me. And now, after learning that and already having the head off, I was like, oh, thank God, somebody knew what they were doing. So, me and the garage dog. Yeah, you, come here. Good boy. Me and the garage dog are going to be in here for a couple hours and measuring all of those shims, which I have my measurements right here for exhaust and intake. So this is intake 1 through 4, 2 sides because it's 2 valves per cylinder, 4 valves technically because you got 2 intake, 2 exhaust, and then I have my exhaust. And yeah, so some of these, like this 0.13 millimeters is a little tight. .16 is the lowest spec, so I think even these .16s, I'm going to go with a smaller can or a smaller shim to add just a little bit, and then I'm going to recheck the timing, and if it's too much, then I'm going to go back to the size that it was. But yeah, pretty fun. Other than that though, she should be running tonight or tomorrow night, and there's a motorcycle meet in Chula Vista. There's a motorcycle meet in Chula Vista that is down the street from my house. So I'm gonna try to make it there with good old Dreamsicle back there and the Junkyard Jigsaw. So, yeah.